Good morning from Yami BTV. Wishing you all well, sending plenty of love your way and hoping your weekend is going the best it possibly can. Now, I'm going to break this down in the best way possible and clarification of certain exchanges again, clinically and decisively this morning by Uncle Yami. Now, there is a phrase in the category A prisons amongst prisoners, and the phrase is that you're asking me, not letting on. Now, not letting on could mean like two or three things, right? Now, if I introduced certain men together, which I have done over the years, big name, elite, so we say, of the hierarchy prisoners of the category A system, right? Men with big reputations. Now, I introduced Warrenslaney and Gary Nelson, right? I think Warren was walking with Martin Valentine. I was standing with Gary. They'd never ever spoken before in history, right? So they're walking, I'm standing there with Gary. They walk past, I say, Warren, Gary, introduction, slight introduction by me. Just say hello, please, the both of you. They did say hello, but they didn't look at each other. Straight away, I felt something. It done my head in. I thought I knew they wasn't going to get them. Sometimes we can look at it that some of the big name fighters from the category A's might think possibly further down the line, you might become adversaries where we might have to fight one day, and they don't want to get too close to each other. Maybe we could say that a lot of men, certain men are, want to be top spot, believe that they're top spot for the fighting thing in the category A's. It's very true. So they won't get as close to each other in that way. Now, it is true that I introduced Tony Argent and Gary Nelson as well. It was a summer's day, it was hot, on the football pitch, on exercise after the match or something. We were still sitting in, Tony Argent was sitting down, Gary Nelson came and sat down by me, and I introduced them both. But when they shook hands, I didn't feel that much. It felt like you might be all right, you two. That's the way they shook hands, right? So it was a different introduction and reaction to what I felt on Slaney and Gary Nelson, right? Clarify that. Now, certain men are legendary for walking straight past men. Now, this could mean a few things. From those introductories, right? When those men walk past each other again, they might not say hello every time they see each other, right? So it might be, for them reasons I've just explained before, right? Other men, the big man from Manchester, John Gray, Slaney Argent, Gary Nelson, I'm John and Amici, boxerJohn, right? I'm going to clarify that story this morning as well with Belfield. Now, and me are legendary for walking straight past people. We knew what my tricks were. Certain times when I had the ump and I weren't getting my own way, or, the psychological dynamics between certain men, and you could pick up, it's like a real sixth sense. Gary Shearer he goes, they're not letting on, are they? I mean, and I used to go, no, Gal, they're not. Certain men, the Manchester men, they always seem to pick up on the body language. Maybe most of the men that I talk about, probably that was where the connection was, because everybody's really good at reading certain situations. They might not say it like me, but they've noticed it, and they they keep it to themselves. Now, I wouldn't walk past Slaney or Tony Argent because it's a bit more different, if you get what I mean. Even when they piss me off, the pair of them, so I'm more likely to go quiet on them for a little bit, but talk still. But they would know that I'm pissed. You see what I mean? So, but I wouldn't walk straight past them because I know both of them, their heads are a bit strange. They'll be on it in a flash. What? Yeah, what's going on? You know what I mean? Now, for those reasons, right? But with Gary Nelson, I used to walk straight past him sometimes. He is legendary for walking straight past people as well. And I would walk straight past him and I'd be young, but later on, he'd be looking, he wouldn't take it as serious. I say those two and the big man from Manchester take it really serious. If you've had talked to him before and then you walk past him without saying hello, John Gray would go complete Gary, right? But Gary Nelson, I would do that. But he would look up later on after a few hours from the morning to the tea time association, and then he'd be like that. Oh, come down here, man. You know what I mean? Because he's reasonable that way. Kevin Lane's more like reasonable with certain, I'd say than other men as well, right? But boxerJohn, John and Amici, right? You knew that But me and him had a couple of little fallouts, my fault, right? But rest in peace, deep down, I love the man, right? So one time when I was walking past him, I put my hand out like that to reach out. You right, Boxer John, to try and play it. He just bypassed my hand. I was so out. I just went back to myself, I'm going to get you, Boxer John, right? And a few days later, he's coming towards me again, and I went like that, just fixed my face up as I was walking past. I just walked straight past him, but he stopped and looked round at me like, saying, "What, you're not saying hello to me?" I mean, but I was giggling, walking forward, because I knew that I got a reaction. John Inimichi's not looking to be the top fighter, wasn't looking to be #1 fighter in the category A's. His character's completely different. When him and Slaney, I was there when they met, and he was fiddling about with his towel or something like that, and they were standing there, and there was about 5 of us there. But it's amazing that them two, when John spudded him and Slaney, they knew who each other was, but I didn't feel nothing there. In fact, I would say that Slaney and Boxer John got on. I think Boxer John let on to him, and Warren kind of said, okay, I kind of, you know what I mean? It was the same with Victor and Johnny Nemicha, Victor Cascado. They got on too, didn't they? It's a fact, mate. But the story with Boxer John, and this is why you got to respect that man. He's legendary for walking past everyone as well, right? And not letting on, right? Friend or foe, but he keeps the 4 or 5 of them. We know with Boxer John, he loved them deeply, right? And always say hello. Well, not always, right? But anyway, it's a different story. But the story with Belfield in the Muslim service with John and Image and Boxer John is absolutely true, right? Let me break it down, right? So you've got a few brothers there, and being involved in a brotherhood like I was, you salam your brother, salam alaikum, and it's meant to be a hug and all love and everything. Now, I was the same as Boxer John on certain things. I would say, I'm not salaming him. I'm not saying I'm hugging him, certain people. And the brothers would go, no, you got to. It's part of the faith. It's in the book. And But Boxer John with Belfield, when Belfield tried to walk up to Boxer John, right? It's absolute fact. And when he walked up to Boxer, like he was trying to get into, be friendly with Boxer John, right? Boxer John, he came to salam him, and Boxer John just completely ignored him in front of everyone. Belfield's face went absolutely red. It is absolutely fact. And this is what I liked about Boxer John, right? And when Ibrahim, rest in peace as well, he legendarily killed a man in Bright Hill, right? And got a life sentence while he was serving prisoner. Died in prison, I think, right? But me and him was close, as me and Mujahid as well, little light-skinned fellow from Manchester, I think, but very, very serious youngster, right? But he was real as well, like, when I used to do it, they used to say, you've got to salam, and then they used to look at me. There's a word, it's not the whole sentence of salam alaikum, it's like a alaikum, but he used to do a alaikum like, I'm not really feeling you, but I'll do it for the sake of Allah kind of thing, and God, that I do it. But when I used to walk straight past him, he would say to me, Junaid would say to me, Mujahid would say to me, I said, I'm not saying it. I'm not pretending to let on to him and like him and blah, blah, blah. You know, and he used to say to me, you're one of the realest men. I believe that you could hold it in and show a bit of self-control and, you know, do it that way. But I don't. I believe the spirit remains clear with what it is. Tonyargeant, Gary Nelson, legendary for putting it on big name rapists, supposed gangsters that go on normal location. I've been around both of them where Gary Nelson looks at someone and says, so that geezer from me, so way back, and he says, yeah, but you're a rapist though. And everyone, but no one else would say nothing to him. Tonyargeant, exactly the same. Straight up, but yet you got other people walking around with him, like, you know what I mean? Like you and them's friend. With John Gray, it is what it says in the Jalit. He'll just tell you straight, listen, I don't like you. But they're not letting on. What was the other bit? I was just going to say, oh, come on, Yami, man. But yeah, of course, you could be just having a bad day. And certain men, you walk past, and we seem to know, all right, you're having a bad day. I'll try again later. I didn't say hello to you. You didn't say hello to me, if you get what I mean. But you would know the difference when someone's just plainly thinking, walking past you like you're nothing. Could be egotistical. All of it could be. So making those allowances, what I'm saying is the sixth sense. I believe that a lot of the men along this way will be able to spot. But it's a big feature, and it's really tense when those feelings are heightened in those surroundings of the Cat A's, when everyone's there, you don't let on if you get what I mean, meaning, you know, for a variety of reasons that I don't really rate you. I'm not letting on to you. I'm not begging no friendship. I'm just talking about, I'm sure you all know what I mean. Sending love to you, probably be up later on with a live.